Previously on One Piece, it's time for things to wind down. Momonosuke, after a magnificent speech, finally had his adult body revealed to us, and I actually really loved it. He didn't look too much like Odin. I was scared he'd be a carbon copy of his father, but no. He still looks like an adult version of the Momonosuke we had been with for the past, let's be honest, about 10 years. Yamato also made it known that they would join the Straw Hat Pirates crew come hell or high water. Although Jinbei very wisely said that's for the captain to decide once he wakes up. But there's still questions abound. What about the world government ships hanging outside of Wano? Where did Kaido and Big Mom end up? What about Zunisha? Is Zunisha still outside of Wano as well? And has the last remaining member of CP0 made it to the world government? And what will they report? We're getting into the real world building stuff now, so I can't wait to check it out. So join me, won't you? Alright, so One Piece chapter 1052, A New Morning. And, oh stuff. So Caesar Clown has been hanging around Whole Cake Island this entire time. Let's see. Germa 66's An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 14. The Scientists Who Failed to Escape. So Caesar Clown has been on Whole Cake for what, like a couple of months now? It has to be because of his powers that he's just managed to slip through any kind of defenses, but man, he's like a cockroach. So is he gonna try to hitch a ride with the Germa? I mean, is he even on good terms with Judd? Played off under the guise of, oh, I helped your kids escape, you owe it to me kind of situation. I don't know. See how that goes. I think a lot of people thought Caesar just GT'd the FO off of Whole Cake. But knowing that he was in the heart of Whole Cake, he was probably bounding from island to island. There's probably only so much of a distance he can travel with his gas abilities. Alright, let's get into it. Oh, hey! Alright, we're picking up in the sacred land of Merijoa. So, Nika has finally descended upon the world. That's one of the Gorosei, and 2 of the 4 emperors defeated in the same battle. This is not a matter we can cover up. The information will be all over the globe soon enough, and the timing couldn't be worse. So, how do we respond? Yeah, there's no way to fully cover up the defeat of 2 emperors. The seas near Wano. Okay, so the CP0 dude just ran to one of the nearby world government ships. Okay, gotcha. So they haven't even touched down. Let's see, the seas near Wano. You said that Zoe is gone. What? Yes, sir. It just slipped away into the mist. So, what was it doing? Zoe just slipped into the friggin' mist? How the fuck do you lose an elephant the size of a continent? Well, island. Jesus. So is it just hidden? Is that like a special ability of Zoe, where it's only found if it wants to be found? Or if you have a Vivri card to someone living on Zoe? That is wild. And one of the Goros say, the old monk-looking dude says, then they are not opening up the country. Okay, so Wano would only stick around if Zoe was being opened up? Wano will remain an impregnable fortress, it seems. They must have changed tactics in response to the situation. Someone over there is very shrewd. Oh, okay. So this was a good play by Momo. Gotcha. Now there is no means of sending in a major force to occupy the nation. So had Momo decided to open up the borders of Wano, it would have been easier to occupy for the world government. Yeah, because with the way Wano is, set up, there's no easy way to enter the country. That is fascinating. Okay, so it must be a situation where only once the world government is no longer an issue would opening up Wano's borders be viable. But you will at least bring back Nico Robin, yes? And the last CP0 guy is just like shocked. He seems like a long-armed tribesman, dude. And he says, without fail. And then, CP0, signals being jammed. Hang on, you guys. Who are you? Just wait where you are. I'll be right there. So Is it an ally of the world government? I'll be right there. Weird. I love Onigashima just hanging out outside of the flower castle capital. The land of Wano, freed at last from 20 years of tyranny, reveled in the victory of the Kozuki clan within Onigashima Castle. And you have Hawkins bleeding out from his wound, coming over to Drake, who's still on the ground. Hawkins slowly makes his way over to Drake. He says, Drake, you're a Navy man? And Drake, shocked, but says, I'm not answering that. That's what you came here to ask? Hawkins slumps down on the ground and Drake says, you look like a total wreck. I thought your divination said you'd be fine. As long as you didn't betray Kaido. Hawkins says, I sank to working for Kaido because I sensed death in the presence of that monster. But Kid and Killer faced death bravely and continued their resistance. Even if I had foreseen their victory, how could I possibly turn back and suck up to Kid again? Drake thinks back to when he talked to Hawkins, when he said to Hawkins, if you're going to betray them, now's the time. What does that represent? And Hawkins said, the chances of a certain man surviving until tomorrow. Drake said, 1%. Sucks to be him. And Drake says, so that certain man you were talking about was... And Hawkins says, me. And Hawkins falls to the ground. Hawkins didn't die, did he? Drake's not gonna die here, right? So what? Hawkins only stuck with Kaido out of the sense that, he had already kind of given up to Kaido. He felt like, I can't just go running back to try to help out Kid in the last second. Jeez. So what, Hawkins ultimately knew that the Alliance would come out on top, but he felt like he already chose his side in the end? He missed the boat to stand like a real man kind of situation, even though he knew he probably wouldn't live to see the next day? I don't know. I kind of want Hawkins to survive because I don't want any of the worst generation to just die out just yet. Like, I really started to think that maybe all of them would live to see the final battle. Man, that'd be fucked up though. In all of this fight, in all of this battle, the only one to actually kill anyone was Killer. That's fucked. Damn. What's gonna happen to Drake? Oh, okay, a bit of a time skip. 7 days since the conclusion, Flower Capital. Okay, so what we saw previously was literally right after the fight, and this is 7 days afterwards. Okay, the anime is gonna have some good filler time. And you see in the Flower Capital, people saying, don't take the festival decorations down. Lord Momono, the Shogun has decreed that we'll have another festival. And you see in the same class we opened up with, the kids saying, did Miss Sarah Hebe go away? To their new teacher, the snake-necked lady. The kids say, how come? And the teacher says, I'm sorry kids, but you need a re-education about the history behind our hero. And the kids are all shocked, saying, oh, boo! But the teacher says, we start with the most astonishing lad. This lesson will cover the story of Kozuki Oden. Yes, a true lesson to be learned. And the people talking, I can hardly believe it. Kurosaki, the most beautiful woman in all of Wano, was Lord Oden's daughter all along. It was Kawamatsu the Kappa who rescued her from the burning castle. So the people have all the details. God, it's almost like the entirety of everything we learned over the course of Wano just got told to the people. It's just like, what? I would love it if a few people came in and it's just like, man, some of these guys feel like they should have fought other opponents. But does anyone know about how Luffy defeated Kaido? You see a kid drinking some water, and the people saying, what a beautiful tale of loyalty. One samurai disguised himself as a Yakuza named Kyoshiro and secretly protected her from harm. He was one of the Akazaya Nine, Sir Denjiro. You see people cheering over the water they can drink freshly. Then you head over to Paradise Farm, and the people say as they receive that banquet boat full of food and stuff. And the people say, do you know about the man who beat Kaido? I heard he's a warrior by the name of Joy Boy, right? Huh. But apparently he's already left the country. I wish I could have seen him. I hear arrived only by the god of the blade. Wait, Luffy and the others left? And they're calling him Joy Boy? Weird. Why are they calling him Joy Boy? Why would they not tell him that it was Luffy? Or Luffy Jiro? Or something like that. Huh. A legend to stand alongside the god of the blade Ryuma. They left though. That's weird. Okay. Eternal Graves Ringo. And is that Kawamatsu and I'm not sure who that is, saying, build a temple, indeed, up on a hill with a view of the flower capital, just like this shrine shrine to Ryuma, god of the blade. Okay, so it is Kawamatsu and Kinemon. So it's Kinemon saying to build the shrine. Only this one will honor Lord Odin, and surrounding him all the daimyo who fought for the country, starting with Lord Yasue. Plus, wait, what? No way! Plus Ashura and Izo? So Ashura Doji actually died in that explosion. See, that's one thing, but Izo? He died against that CP0 agent? They both killed each other? Holy shit! I didn't really. Izo died. Jeez. Another member of the Whitebeard Pirates died. I mean, Ace, Whitebeard, Odin, Izo, and Marco's still alive. I didn't think Ashura died, though. Jeez. And people were saying that Kinemon and Kiku should have died. I mean, by all accounts, probably they should have, but I'm surprised. There were actual casualties. And you see Onimaru, and Kawamatsu's happily greeting him, saying, Ka-pa-pa-pa-pa. I suppose we'll go in here someday too, Onimaru. Little scamp, glad you're alive. And Marco arrives, flying down, and Kinemon greets him saying, does that work for you, Sir Marco? Marco says, of course, best to be buried in one's native soil. And here I am, still kicking for some reason. Oh, Marco. He's got survivor's guilt, he has to. Gee, I'm really shocked that Izo died. I mean, I kind of felt like Ashura died because he did not come back at any point. Especially when he didn't show up when, Momonosuke was making his big speech. You didn't see Ashura, but I didn't realize Izo wasn't there either. Jeez, how many characters died? Did Hawkins actually die? And Kawamatsu, petting Onimaru, says, we have our own qualms too. They all have a bit of survivor's guilt. Kinemon says, it is difficult to bear the thought of something happening to the heroes of the battle while the rest of us live. Man. And to a certain degree, it makes sense that they would pass. For them, a lot of their roles kind of are no longer there anymore. I mean, Kanjuro dying, it's what's done is done. Ashura Doji, I mean, he was there as the bandit leader, and this is a land that probably pretty much no longer needs bandits. Izo, the Whitebeard Pirates are pretty much done. Kawamatsu living after everything he went through. Ashura dying even though he was the most selfish amongst the scabbards. And Izo, who had outlived two of his masters, both Whitebeard and Odin. Probably the two with the biggest amounts of regrets, honestly. But yeah, Kawamatsu, I mean, for him to have spent all that time in the jail only to ultimately die. Kinemon, with everything he'd been through. Again, another character we've been with for over 10 years at this point. To have him die, I mean, it would have made sense, but at the same time, that would have been too bitter a pill to swallow. And Kiku, we only just really got to know them. For them to have died, despite the fact that Ashura sacrificed himself so much for Kiku, that would have been real sucky. Raizo dying after the people of Zou protected him, that would have been a little too much. Inuarashi and Nekomamushi dying, they have their own country to rule over. And Denjiro, protecting Hiyori, that would have been a little too bit bitter. I guess it makes sense for it to be Izo and Ashura ultimately. They had long since served their biggest purpose, I guess. Damn. Alright, so back at the Flower Capital. Oh, okay. It's difficult to bear the thought of something happening to the heroes of the battle while the rest of us live. Let us pray for their recovery. And you see Yamato on top of the Shogun's castle, muttering, and them saying, I'm so hungry. I mean, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. And Okay, so it was Hiyori running around the castle saying, "Brother, big brother." And Yamato says, "Hmm?" And Hiyori says, "Yamato, Luffy Taro, and Zorojiro have awakened." Yamato says, "Oh good," with their stomach grumbling. And Hiyori drop kicks Momonosuke. As he says she's still not over her tomboyish side. But he says, "Doesn't hurt though." So I guess with age his body naturally toughened up. Of course, Luffy awakens screaming, "Meat!" Zoro awakens yelling, "Booze!" And then both Momonosuke and Yamato go running over. Momonosuke saying, "Luffy, Zoro, you're awake." Yamato says, "Luffy, you're up." And people bringing Luffy food, saying, "More meat right away." Nekomamushi saying, "What a great day." Luffy yelling, "More!" Zoro yelling, "More!" As he drinks down a massive thing of sake. And you see both Miyagi and Tristan kind of putting away all their instruments and stuff. I guess they were treating them over the past 7 days. Nami reading a book to Otama. And I guess that's Sanji? Yeah, it has to be Sanji, only person around with light hair, hanging out with Otama. And Momonosuke says, "Luffy, Zoro, don't eat too much. Now that you're up, the entire country is going to hold a feast. Let's do it today." Oh, I get it. Luffy, who's being hugged by Yamato, looks over like, "Who the fuck?" And Zoro, with Chopper on his head, is also looking over like, "Who the hell are you?" And Momonosuke says, "It's me, Momonosuke." And they're just like, "What?" And I guess Luffy says, "What? Oh, so you're an adult now." He's remembering that Momonosuke got aged up. Zoro says, "You look pretty buff, kid. Is that Odin's blood? Let's see how well you take a punch." And Momo yells, "Don't!" Oh, jeez. And Momonosuke dives into Nami's bosom saying, "No, stop. They're picking on me. Save me, Onami." And of course Nami decks him one, saying, "Knock it off." And Momo says, but I'm only 8. Doesn't hurt though. Okay, so I guess that's the example that whenever Nami hits any of them, they just kind of roll with it. And Nami says, "Oh, that's right." And both Zoro and Luffy says, "Yeah, he's tougher now." And Zoro and Brook are laughing it up, saying, "Yeah." I mean, Sanji and Brook are laughing it up. Sanji says, "Yeah, welcome to the adult world, Momo." Brook says, "Your special privileges are a thing of the past." So all you people used to get pissed off at Momo for just getting in nice and cozy with Nami, you got your divine retribution. And Yamato puts a plate on top of Momo's head, saying, "He's still a kid on the inside, and Odin on the outside." And Momonosuke yells at Yamato saying, "Stop putting a tray on my head every time you see me." So wait, did Odin actually have a tray or something on his head, or is that just his hairstyle? And Yamato says, "You've got a very sturdy body. Be grateful to your parents. You'll be the greatest samurai in the nation one day, I'm sure." Patting him on the back. And Momo says apprehensively, says, "Well, I'll try." And Nami looks back and says, "Yamato, let's take a bath before the festival. Your prayer is over, right?" And Luffy questions, "Prayer?" Jinbei comes in and says, "In Wano, when you pray to the gods for something, it's customary to deprive yourself until it comes true." Okay, so Yamato hadn't eaten. And Yamato, chowing down on rice balls, says, "I didn't have any food or baths until you two were better again." I mean, which is saying something, because even probably before the battle, Yamato probably hadn't really had much food or bathed or anything. And Luffy says, "Wow, really? Thanks to you, I'm feeling great now, Yamato." Oh, still with the nickname. And Jinbei says, "What a nice person." Zoro looks at himself and says, "We're not that filthy, though." And Iori says, "That's because I took it upon myself to cleanse you. Is that exciting for you, hee hee?" And Sanji, white hot with rage, says, "Mosshead, we need to have a talk." But then Zoro remembers their last conversation where Sanji said, "After the finisher, if I'm not in my right mind, I want you to kill me." And Zoro says, "Oh yeah, that's right. I've come back from the depths of hell to kill you." And Sanji, battling it out with Zoro, says, "No, I'm good. We already resolved that." And Yamato says to Nami, "Sorry, Nami, there's no mixed bathing in the castle." And Nami's just like, "What?" And Kiku says, "Do you mind if this one joins you?" Well then. Huh. Okay then. Rock bath inside the castle. It's a fancy bath. In the men's bath, you see Zoro, Chopper, Yamato, Luffy, Nekamamushi, Brook, Sanji, Jinbei, and Momonosuke. Zoro's drinking it up. Chopper's having a good time. Yamato yells, this feels great. Luffy says, and there's a feast when we're done. This is the best. And both Sanji and Brook are knocked back by something very specific, saying, am I dreaming? As Momonosuke says, Yamato, what are you? Oh, and in the woman's bath, yes. Oh, where's Robin? You see the Koma Ino, Shinobu, Carrot. So, wait, Carrot didn't go back to Zou? Because I'm assuming Inuarashi went back, but Nekamamushi is still hanging around for some reason. I'm kind of confused. So, Carrot, Nami, Tama, Speed? Okay. Kiku, Hiyori, and Toko. Nami says, I can hear them yelling from here. Shinobu's just luxuriously bathing. Nami's holding Tama and Tama says, I hope I grow up to be this bewitching, touching Nami's boobies. Kiku says, in the past we would all bathe together with Lord Odin, but this one felt ashamed being with the men. And Hiyori says, you're just as I remember you, O Kiku. Only I'm older than you now. And Toko says, this is nice. Little bit of fan service. And the people yell, the feast is going to be today. It's time once again to celebrate the return of the Kazuki clan. Tell each of the providences. Okay, so this is where Frankie and Usopp have been. Tokage Port, Udon. And you see the ships of the Heart Pirate, the Kid Pirates, and the Thousand Sunny being fixed up. And Frankie says, phew, back in shape at last. Usopp says, yeah, they should be good to sail. And Frankie says, and General Frankie's back to normal too. Okay, so they fixed up everything. You see Beppo, Killer, and the rest of the Kid Pirates looking over at the General Frankie as Beppo says, that thing is so cool. Just admiring the General Frankie, and Frankie's just like, yeah, it is. So the three pirate crews have been bonding. That's so nice. Nope, and of course you got Buzzkill Kid over on the side saying, don't get all buddy-buddy with them. Stay on your guard until we're able to leave. Somehow, somewhere, the intel will leak, and the papers will hear about it. They'll be after us as replacements for the four emperors. And the Kid Pirates all gulp. Law then says, he's right. They can't see us from the outside of the closed nation, but we can't see what the enemy's doing either. And Beppo yells over to the Kid Pirates, what if we find out that all their bounties are astronomical numbers like we've never seen before? And then you hear Apu's laugh, and Killer shouts, Apu, and a number. And you see Apu on Inby's hand saying, that's right, who can say how this information leaked out, but Apu, what the fuck did you say? Oh god, Apu spread the information. Okay, I am getting so tired of Shonen Jump and this whole thing where every single notification that comes up brings me to it. It's just like, I don't want to hear these people's comments. Alright, so Kid says, stop acting like it wasn't you, you annoying bum. And Apu, holding up a newspaper, says, I'm sure you're curious about the new bounty numbers. Apapa, wanna see 'em? It's all there. And he just throws a newspaper to Kid's feet, saying all of your bounties and the names they're calling the new emperors of the sea. See, that brings up an interesting question. What did Apu tell them? Because he could have told them anything. There's no way to really corroborate anything he said. Okay. And we see a figure flying with a flower on his back, with Sakazuki yelling, I'm asking you where you are right now. And the figure says, I told you, Sakazuki. I'm in the air. And Sakazuki says, in the air where? The figure says, oh, I can see Wano up ahead. And Sakazuki shouts, don't you dare make things any worse. You got that, Ryukugu? And Admiral Ryukugu says, I know, geez. So he does have flower powers. A lot of people were questioning that, because it's like Green Bull. okay, does that mean he has flower capabilities? Because all the previous admirals were color-coded. Akainu was red, the red dog, and red was fire, and he had magma abilities. Kizuru was yellow, yellow for light. Could have been electricity, but we already had that. Aokiji was ice because he was blue. Fujitora was purple, and gravity abilities are usually associated with purple. If you've seen pretty much anything, usually gravity abilities are connected with purple. And a lot of people were saying that Ryokugu, since his name translated to Green Bull, it's just like he might have flower abilities. So there you go, there's the proof. Alright, so it all just comes down to what has Apu told everyone. But I mean, if he lied, some people probably would have heard a thing or two. And there's this weird sense of camaraderie now between the Heart and Kid Pirates, though. I guess just worrying over their captains. Not to mention, it's only because of the Straw Hat Pirates that made sure your ships got all fixed up. So is it going to be a situation where the Heart and Kid Pirates are advertised as under the Straw Hat? Or are the Heart and Kid Pirates all going to be separate? Or because of the fact that it was Kid and Law who teamed up, is one going to have a higher bounty than the other, saying that, oh, Law helped Kid, or Kid helped Law? How's that going to go down? But Luffy defeated Kaido outright. And then we haven't really talked about Yamato joining fully. Luffy still referring to the Yamato as Yamao. And if you believe in the nickname theory, he still doesn't see them as a actual member of his crew yet. And then you still got Carrot hanging around, so always the potential for Carrot to either be invited or to just stow away when they move on. But they're probably not going to be moving on. See, it's weird though, since Ryokugu is showing up, and every time an admiral shows up in this fashion, we see a massive display of power. Whenever an admiral first shows up, we see a massive display of power. Like Aokiji, he froze an entire ocean, and then he took down pretty much all of the hardest hit in Straw Hat. Kizuru shows up, and he's just dominating all over the Straw Hat. Akainu, he's the whole reason Luffy has that scar on his chest. I'm pretty sure Jinbei also has a scar that we never really see. Fujitora's abilities, like, it was obvious how powerful he could be, and it's only because he liked Luffy that nothing really ever came to pass with his abilities. So, I mean, it's hard to say. Ryokugu is a big associate of Fujitora, so this might be the more pleasant situations with Luffy meeting an admiral. I mean, we gotta get the banquet and the whole christening of the newest Straw Hat, but an admiral showing up, does that mean they're gonna have to leave immediately without fully enjoying the banquet? And where is Robin? Is he searching for the poneglyph? She has to be searching for the poneglyph, that's right, because we never did find the road poneglyph. Both Brooks search, Law search, and they never found an actual red poneglyph. They found other poneglyphs that talked about history that Robin might be investigating, the one in Onigashima, but that wasn't a road poneglyph from what I remember. Where is Kaido's road poneglyph? I don't think it's been said where it is. If you know, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, if Zoe is gone, then, and we haven't seen Inuarashi, but then Nekomamushi is still hanging around. But Carrot isn't a guardian, she's a musketeer. So are more of the minks hanging around? And from the looks of things, Kiku's still missing an arm because she has that cap on where her arm is missing. So, yeah, Kiku just does not have an arm. Oh man, 7 days have passed. Ashura and Izu are dead. Dang. But Wano is starting to get back into normal proceedings and all of that. There's going to be a massive feast and a banquet. That's going to be awesome. I wonder, because we don't know what happened to Drake and Hawkins. Like, did Drake die? How did he get off of the island? Was he fixed up? What about Hawkins? Did he really not survive? Did we really see the fall of one of the worst generation? And was the person who interrupted the talk between CP0 and the Gorosei, was that Ryokugu or was it someone else? Like, how did he jam that signal? And is Apu still in command of all of the numbers? What about the rest of the Beast Pirates? What happened to them? There's a lot of questions still orbiting this. And we have one more chapter until the break. One chapter until the break. 1 month without One Piece, which kind of makes sense. I mean, Oda has been consistently releasing chapters one after the other for like a month now, and that never happens. And what do you think the bounties are going to be? The new Emperors of the Sea. Oh, we'll just have to wait and see. So tell me your thoughts and theories in the comments section below. Bounty theories? New Empress candidate? Yamato joining? Carrot stowing away? Where did Zoe go? Let me know all your feelings in the comments section below. And subscribe, that way you don't miss out on the next video. Before the break, let's weep together as we have to bide our time into the chapter after the next. But hey, Oda's gotta cook, so, a whole month off to cook and do everything else he needs to do? I'm ready to see it. So definitely let me know your thoughts. Until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye!